Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we've had some XRP price movement today. And in the group today, which is daixrp.com, or you can click the join button below any of my YouTube videos or the subscribe button on X. We do extended videos with no commercials in there. In there today, we're going to talk about BlackRock, XRP valuation models, and a very interesting prediction on XRP based on what they're saying out of the White House. Here we go. We've got 359 XRP. It's fun to watch fiat leak on days like today. We're having a little bit of a pullback right now. It wouldn't surprise me if we bust through $4 at some point this week based on everything I'm seeing. Little reminder, I keep my digital assets in institutional grade custody. I have it in two places, and one of them is Caleb and Brown. You can go to xrpwealth589.com. I created that .com just to forward you to my page on Caleb and Brown. You can click sign up today. There, I get a personal broker. I can either call them on the phone or I can email them. And so I can email them and say, put an order through on XRP. Sell XRP at $10 or whatever, or sell half of it at $10. These guys will do it. I'll get an email with a PDF attached that shows the order and all a breakdown of the order. It's the coolest thing ever. I get free institutional grade storage. They use fire blocks, and maybe most importantly, they have access to institutional level liquidity so that when the time comes, there's no questions about whether you can get out. These guys are opening I'm going to have them on soon. They're opening a branch in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, coming up. Check it out. XRP Stampede, folks.
Investors have been sitting on the sidelines. They've been looking at this marketplace for a long time, both Bitcoin and Ether, and especially stablecoins. They've wanted to get into it, but they've been nervous about the regulatory environment, especially here in the United States, because we've been lagging for the last few years. This basically unlocks that entire ecosystem. So we expect a stampede of banks, institutional investors, enterprises going in. Consumers have already adopted. We've got something like 50 or 60 million Americans with crypto, but we expect to see big engagement here, and I'm going to expect to see a lot of announcements, especially around enterprises buying Ether for their treasuries.
All right. You're saying that people are more open to cryptocurrency, but a lot of the action really seems to be focused on Bitcoin. You're part of an Ether trade alliance. So talk to us about what this could potentially mean for Ether. Now, Ether is generally seen as kind of a crypto you can kind of build apps and things on. Do you see it also becoming a bigger part of retirement accounts, just holdings for retail investors more broadly?
I absolutely do. So the key to Ethereum success is the fact that it is the main programmable ecosystem on which you can build stable coins, real world assets. Something like 85% of all the real world assets, like things that exist off chain, are tokenized and delivered on chain. We saw last month an announcement by Robinhood that they were going to build their own layer 2 network on top of Ethereum. And very importantly, in that network, they're going to be offering investment products that you can't get in any other place.
And remember, this is the Wall Street PR machine. They're only allowed to talk in terms of Bitcoin, Ether, and maybe Solana as part of the marketing program. Dom from EZA, breaking XRP reaches new all-time high of 362. I think it went as high as 364 today, I think. XRP is the Big Mac of crypto. XRP passes McDonald's in market value, making it more valuable than the world's largest restaurant chain. Here's some others that it flipped: American Express, McDonald's, Intuit, heading for Goldman Sachs. Wouldn't that be ironic? Surpasses 215 billion in market cap. And I feel bad for poor Dave Portnoy. He's rehashing what happened to him with XRP.
So anyways, XRP. I had, I think, close to $3 million of XRP, and it was hovering. XRP
He needs to get a new XRP friend, by the way. You'll hear it.
was going from like 210 to 240, back to 210, back to 240. Fine. I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to diamond hands it. But the guy who originally was like, get involved in XRP, and the reason I looked at it, sends me a text out of the blue. And I don't talk to this guy a lot. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. And he's like, hey, not good news that Circle is going to do what XRP is doing. I don't even really know what he's talking about. I'm like,
man, these guys have no freaking clue. Ripple could Ripple could swallow Circle whole.
so you're saying sell XRP? He's like, I certainly don't like it that much anymore, or as much as I did. So in XRP, it's going 240 to.
Do they realize that Ripple in escrow, I think I saw the number the other day, they have over $150 billion worth of XRP.
240 to 210. When it went back up to around 240, I'm like, all right, I don't. This guy doesn't like it anymore. I'm just going to get out. No sooner did I sell it, the thing went parabolic. It's like 350. I blinked. Made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Stop listening to that friend and find somebody in the XRP army who knows what they're talking about.
And then the guy is like, well, I didn't sell it. Well, then why did you? He's like, I hold things for 5 years. Well, why did you text me out of the blue being like, I don't like it? Just, I just put it, I put it away. I wasn't even thinking about it. I mean, I'm still doing good in obviously Bitcoin and ETH, but that hurt.
Stop listening to CNBC is another thing you can do. Stop listening to guys like this. These guys, you've got to understand, folks. In fact, I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, man, if I've learned anything, and this is somebody who would know, I said, man, if I've learned anything, the difference between the XRP army and most of crypto, these crypto, I'm talking about 85 to 90% of these crypto pundits out there are part of the PR marketing machine. These are not people that just started a channel and got big. These are people who money was put behind them to start a channel to make it look like they are the spokespeople for crypto. That's why you see all this Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Solana thing, because all those PR people, they're tied to VC backing. That's how this all started. That's why the XRP army gets so many more views than they do, because it was built from the ground up with an actual following, and it's not propped up. This guy, if any, you remember the movie The Dark Knight, when he points at the guy, he says, I know a squealer, and he points to the guy. Well, I know a Bitcoin, Ethereum, PR, marketing, VC machine member, and I'm looking at him. I've been watching this guy for years. He's ex-JP Morgan, which is purely a coincidence.
It's Circle and its free cash multiple, which now is like 130 times EBITDA. On an equivalent basis, Ethereum's closer to 15,000. And that makes sense. I think the layer one, as you know, as you get into layer one, you should apply a higher multiple to like sort of theoretical usage, because it's the same reason software companies get higher multiples than retailers, right? The more.
By the way, I'm all for Bitcoin hitting $1 million and Ethereum hitting $10,000 to $15,000, because you know what that means for XRP.
You're getting away from the customer, and the more it's pure signal, you apply higher multiples to that business. And so I think in the near term, our technical strategist Mark Newton thought we could be seeing 4,000 before the end of the month for Ethereum, but that's not where it peaks. He just thinks that that's the first target. And then I think something, if Sean Farrell's math is correct, then I think 10 to 15,000 actually makes sense too. If we look at Circle.
All right. Now, this was interesting going around right here, and this guy's right about gold, but you know what else? XRP.
Central banks have to hold currencies. That's what they do. And you've seen actually in what we talked about last time, 2000, around 73% of the world traded dollars. That number has dropped to, last year was around 53%, and will fall into the 40-something% range this year because of the tariffs. Again, if I don't have to hold dollars, I need to hold something else. And even if you took, if you go from 53, 54% to about 42, 43%, about a 10% move. That's $1 trillion that needs to be reallocated. And right now, the lion's share of that reallocation is going towards gold. And that's why you're seeing this huge move in gold prices. And again, I don't think that stops. I think you're going through this, almost once in 50-year change in the entire global trade system. And that's what we're seeing right now. And that's why gold is exploding. And I don't think it stops here. I think we're in inning 1 or 2. It doesn't end until probably this administration leaves. And then even then, I don't think the rest of the world will trust the U.S. for a really, really long time.
He's got a lot of it right. RLUSD is now live on WireX. The dominoes are falling. BitGo confidentially files S1 with the U.S. SEC for IPO. The crypto IPO dominoes are falling, folks. Now, this is interesting. U.S. banks fight back on crypto charters. American Bankers Association and other groups, wonder if they were the same ones behind the regulatory capture of Ripple, urge OCC to halt bank licenses for Circle and Ripple. I hope the OCC flips them the bird. This is from the Cowboy Crypto, the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor Channel. As the American Bankers Association tries to halt the licenses, guess who they are a major donor to? Anti-crypto Congressman Brad Sherman. He even hired American Bankers Association ex-lobbyist Sam Maper in 2023 as his senior legislative assistant. Makes sense. Yes. Milky Bull, altcoins cap, explosive move imminent. Okay, I'm going to go into the group, and in the group, I'm going to give you my interesting BlackRock theory about what I think is going on over there. I'm also going to give you a very interesting XRP price prediction that comes right out of the White House and what they've been saying. You're going to like it. Go to DAIXRP.com to the Patreon, or click join below any of my YouTube videos, or hit subscribe on X. You can join any of those ways. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.